When Emperor Dushyanta learned that Sakuntala was the daughter of the great sage Visvamitra and the celestial nymph Menaka, he was overjoyed. He proposed marriage to Sakuntala, suggesting that she deserved to live in a palace befitting her beauty rather than the simple ashram. Sakuntala, who inherited both her mother's stunning looks and her father's wisdom, responded that she was under the care of her foster father, Kanva, and that Dushyanta should speak to him. Dushyanta took this as a partial agreement and proposed a Gandharva marriage, a type of union accepted by the Kshatriyas, which did not require formal rituals. Sakuntala agreed on the condition that any child born from their union would inherit the throne. Dushyanta, eager for an heir, gladly accepted this condition. Dushyanta stayed at the ashram for a few days before returning to his capital. He promised Sakuntala that his ministers would come to escort her to the royal palace. However, feeling guilty about the secret affair he had with Sakuntala, he did not send the promised retinue. Meanwhile, Sakuntala gave birth to a son. Kanva, who had been patiently waiting for the royal messengers to arrive, was ready to send Sakuntala and her child to Dushyanta. As the boy grew up, he showed remarkable bravery. Named Simadamana, which means lion tamer, he was known for his fearless play with lion cubs, dragging them from their mothers. Kanva raised Simadamana with the skills and traditions befitting a prince. The boy was exceptional, being the grandson of the great sage Visvamitra and the son of the respected warrior Dushyanta, who was a friend and ally of Indra, the king of heaven. After waiting for a long time, Kanva decided it was time for Sakuntala and her son to go to the royal city. Sakuntala had been living a lonely life in the ashram, holding on to shattered dreams. An escort was arranged, and she, along with the child, reached the royal city. However, when Sakuntala arrived, Dushyanta denied her in front of the court. He wanted to avoid any scandal that might arise from what could be seen as a questionable affair from his hunting days. Sakuntala was deeply distressed but knew she was telling the truth. She made a heartfelt plea to the emperor, explaining that truth was more valuable than the Vedas or 100 sacrifices. Despite her earnest speech, it seemed her words would have little impact. Dushyanta knew the truth but was reluctant to admit it openly. Sakuntala proposed a test to prove her claim. She asked Dushyanta to embrace the boy, saying, "King, the joy of holding a son in your arms surpasses any other pleasure, whether from pearls, moonlight, flowers, or sandalwood. Here is your son. Embrace him and see the truth for yourself." As the boy stood tall, looking every bit the prince he was, a divine voice from the heavens confirmed Sakuntala's words. "Sakuntala has spoken the truth, Simadamana is your son." The court was overjoyed, and the courtiers congratulated Dushyanta, welcoming the young heir with open arms. Dushyanta and Sakuntala reunited happily. In ancient Indian tradition, even great emperors, at the height of their power, would sometimes give up their crowns to live as hermits in the forest for spiritual growth. Dushyanta made his son Bharata the new emperor and retired to the forest with Sakuntala. Bharata, the new ruler, performed a grand sacrifice called the Ashvamedha Yaga, uniting the entire country under his rule. From then on, the land he governed came to be known as Bharata, in honor of the great king.